Sure, I would do honestly.
Goeienaand, eerbares, dierbares. I'm slightly late. I'm sorry, man. Got a little bit of a problem getting home tonight. Yeah, you wish the roads weren't so busy. Goeienaand, I'm 10 minutes late. I'm sorry for wasting your time. I'm sorry if I wasted your time. I just realized I need a cigarette. Mkhwanazi is my mat 'n bietjie later see. We have just by the way, I'm gonna go live twice. No? This is all NCC. The second live will be more of a personal one. Something that actually struck me, something that I observed, something I noticed, something that someone made a funny joke of on social media. And it was a funny joke, it was a really funny joke, but the issue is not funny at all. And I would like to speak about that, seeing that there might be people who are going through the same thing. And no, it's got nothing to do with, whatever. Goeienaand, was ons? Was Noonan hier is first on the live as usual. Andrew Albertus, hoe gaan het? Goeienaand Felicia, Herman. Hoe gaan het met die kleinkind Felicia? Brian Warden. Was ons? Mr. Herman. Osman Salam Salam. Usman Salam. Auntie Zaki. So, yo, what a day. I don't know if you watched the portfolio meeting. Don't mind me, I'm just checking if the fire's lighting up. Ek het net uitgekoop. So, yeah. Guys, I don't know if you watched the portfolio meeting today. If you watched the portfolio meeting today, you'd understand that we are in deep crap as a country. Soos die Afrikaners al gesê het, die land is in sy moer. Die land is in sy moer. Die kleinkind hou vir die slaap, het is goeie nuus. So I just want to start off quickly before we go into the whole policing thing. I don't know if any of you noticed today. Mayor Jordan Lewis wasn't supposed to be in court. He sent his legal representation. You must look at the charge. One of his mother-in-law's neighbors is alleging that he sent law enforcement over repeatedly, I believe, bordering on harassment, and the people did the right thing and they went to go lay a charge. I'm actually very disappointed in this boy, if this is true. I'm very disappointed in this boy because he's just confirmed, if any of this or all of it is true, what we've all known, that this brah and this administration, it's the way they run the city, the lows they're prepared to go to get their way. It's actually shocking. Like, this is a man that calls me a gangster for posing with a firearm at a firearm. Here I lost my train of thought. For posing with a firearm at a shooting range, it makes me a gangster. Wie sê wat is 'n gangster, Jordan? 'n Gangster, né? Is 'n jong, né? Wat mense gaan haal as hy nie sy eie dinge kan doen nie. Verstaan jy? Hy's 'n gangster. Hy's ook ons wat groot man sê hulle is moffies. And if these charges stick, then we might have to welcome you to that club, because that was out and out bullying. Jy weet, almal skrik vir blou ligte nie, maar ek is een van hulle. As die law enforcement pull up here now, I'm gonna walk the gate with a smile. Yes, ou baas, hoe lyk hulle? Jy weet, sommige van ons is die gewoonte, man. But many of us shocked when they said, the cops are here. And the cops come again and again and again. If this is true, it was an abuse of power. It is shockingly low. And if this is true, you are not fit to be our mayor. But this man didn't even have the decency to go to court today. He sent his lawyers. Amper soos wat sy oud sê. And then the judge said, no. Sy sê so kwaai nie. You will be before the court. So, the judge clearly feels that you have a case to answer for. The judge clearly feels that mayor of the not, you are not above the law. And it does applaud the judge, because I think certain people are taking this whole white privilege thing too far, if you ask me. You know, cases, charges laid, you will report to court. Ask me about it. You will humble yourself and go to court. That's kind of how it works. Sy moet nie kom dink omdat hulle besluit dat sy gaan die meie is, dat sy kan maak en doen wat sy wil. Het weet jy so nie, my brother. So yeah, off the court you go. I think I'll be in the courtroom on that day. I also think that those stupid people that defend these people must start asking questions. I don't know if they have the IQ to ask questions, but here's a question. If this was an ANC mayor, what did John Steenhuisen be screaming right now? Step aside. Step aside. You've been charged. You must step aside. It's what they screamed when an allegation was made against Minister Mchunu. Step aside. But this is a white man, and the law apparently does not apply equally to all in the eyes of the Democratic Alliance. And in the eyes of many, many slow-colored people, he's probably innocent. You're all judges now. Congratulations. Now, for the issue that we're here for. I don't know if you watched the police portfolio. People, the MKP, the EFF, Dion said they took him for a Gaspier golden dish. Let me tell you something quickly. Don't mention that Smithing's name on my page. I don't know that bra. I don't care who that bra is. I don't indulge with people that park their cars outside preschools, if you understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying he did it, I'm just saying, you know, I choose my company. But I do see that the mayor was a golden dish. I listen to kak. Now areas is good enough. Now he's a golden dish. Here's a joke. In that same Gatesville, they took away our people's frying pans, fish oil, and stands. In that same Gatesville, they decided that we couldn't trade. As maar Regel Wenga drive af. Kom gou Sikalo verby, Samora Michelle verby. There's 100 people trading there. They don't get bothered. You see, they've made up their mind that they would frustrate the colored community, left, right, and center. Nou gaat hulle in. Golden dish. But ask Adil Brewer. I wish I could tag him right now. When Golden Dish burnt down and they were fixing the place, and the city was taking weeks to put the electricity on, ask Adil Brewer who he called to put Golden Dish's electricity back on. It was me. Sy sien ons mense is te gou om die mense te verwelkom vir 'n klein bietjie aandag, vir 'n klein bietjie publicity. I'd rather go without the extra sales, my bro. But I don't want these Zionists anywhere near anything I do. I would never take a photo with the mayor. I don't want to be seen with the mayor. I don't want to talk to the mayor. Because if you look at what his administration has done to our people, is doing to our people, why would I want to give him the time of day? I'm not one of those stupid people they call coloreds, no? That would sell out my entire community for a couple of bucks. That's not how it works. Ek is jammer. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong in my approach. Maybe this intense dislike I have for these people, no? Maybe it's overboard. But that's how I feel, and that's how I deal. It's nothing but an election port. They talked about this whole Greenpoint Stadium thing. They talked about 1,000 jobs created for one day. They didn't tell you that. One fucking day, and then, sorry, I'm not supposed to swear. And then they brag about it. They don't talk about how many of our people were unemployed over the last few years. That Career Expo, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but let me tell you this. If you used your mother's electricity money to go to a Career Expo, there's a 99.99% chance that you wasted it. Come ask the ladies here from Mitchell's Plain. They had the Career Expo here last year. Ask those ladies how many of them got anything out of that Career Expo. Die ladies het geloop het die tafels of binne in die lente en weer teruggeloop het because they were desperate to work. Go ask them what happened at that Career Expo. Hulle vat as mense vir 'n gat, man. But ons sal deel met julle. Ons sal deel met julle. So, guys, like I said, virtually every party in Parliament right now is hugging Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. He's being hailed as the savior of the South African police services. I think this man is more popular than Zuma at the moment. And that's very popular. In terms of the impact, I can't remember a policeman getting this type of traction. Am I the only person that saw what I saw? I watched that press conference. I listened to this man. And I said, what the actual flip? I said to myself, this thing is staged. In my opinion, it's staged. But why is the NCC the only party asking the critical questions? Who authorized that press conference? Did the National Commissioner know what was going to be said? And since when does a policeman go out and speak in public and get away with it? There's must a chain of command, is there not? There is the IPID, there's the criminal justice system. There's many things that could have been done. Why announce all this at a press conference? And I don't hold the brief for General Sabia. But for a colleague to go on national TV and accuse you of being a crook, like, while there's no charges outstanding or nothing, that is a bit even a kopsie, young. I'm thinking, yo, what the hell's going on here? But then the general goes and attacks the IDAC, the independent directorate against corruption. Now, the IDAC, I think, is possibly the very last investigative authority that has not been corrupted yet. Look, I can't say it with, it's not like carbon dating, you know what I mean? It's not scientific, but this is just my layman's opinion that this is a very good unit. What does the general do? He attacks the IDAC for investigating his colleagues. What else does the general do? He speaks of the MP with the sensitive information. That was me. He goes after the minister. And I'm saying to myself, but now, as I'm all the information geheer, why didn't you do what Fadiel did? Go lay a charge. You call a press conference to slander. Because until the minister and the general are found guilty by a court of law, these are all allegations. But you know what the funny thing is? The funny thing is the general gets away with it. He gets away with it because I think it's like 72 hours later, Deputy National Commissioner Sabia is suspended. No, it's not 7, it's more than 72 hours. And just before that, the Minister of Police is put on special leave, which is suspension. Now, I was suspended for 14 days for swearing at someone 6 months ago. And suspension is no fun if you really want to serve. So I'm assuming Sabia and Senzo Mchunu are extremely frustrated right now. But here's the joke. The kicker in all of this is the general says that those 7 generals that were arrested because of the charges that the NCC has laid, they shouldn't be in court. They should be before HR because this is an HR issue. Now explain gou vir my gou iets. As ek 200 miljoen rand se computers koop, maar die computers kon nooit kantoor toe nie. Hoe the fuck raak dat jy HR issue? Now you're gonna have to forgive my language now because this is the boiling point. How did that become an HR issue? How do you go and get a girlie from BMW with no police experience and make her a brigadier general on like 100,000 rand a month? But there's people stuck in sergeant and warrant officer ranks for the last 20 years because there's no money for promotions. How are these HR issues, Honorable General Mkhwanazi? And I respect your rank and your experience as a general, but you're not a judge. A judge will make the determination of where your colleague should be tried. So what I want to know is, after all this crap, the allegations in public against his superior, the allegations in public against the minister, the attack on the IDAC, the refutation of serious charges as if he's wearing a robe. how is General Mkhwanazi not suspended? Now, like, I like his whole demeanor, man. This man, I mean, like, I used to watch him and think, okay, here's our next national commissioner. This man appears to be very tough on crime. Like, he says the right things, blah, blah, blah. You know, he's a hands-on type of old man. So I like that part. And this is not to say I dislike the man. I'm speaking to the facts before me here. How does this man survive? How does he survive that? Because he should have been suspended along with everyone else. And then I remember that this is South Africa, and political connectivity will get you everywhere. Then I remember that some of the generals that are implicated in the alleged fraud and mismanagement and corruption at crime intelligence are the same people that probably covered up Pala Pala. And then it all makes sense that there's nowhere to run here. I think that the president, amongst others, is caught somewhere between a rock and a hard place. But now here's what I want you to listen to. You've seen every political party in parliament is siding with General Mkhwanazi. You seen it? You happy? Right. I would go down. You see, the NCC is the only party that's on the other side of the fence. Okay? Now, when all the facts are unpacked before the commission, I want to see who's going to change tack. I want to see who's going to apologize to the nation. And I want to see who's going to grab the glory. But the most telling thing of today, I've never seen the Democratic Alliance so quiet. These people didn't say anything. Unheard of. Unheard of. The mighty DA silenced. No contribution at all. You know why? They don't know what side of the fence they need to be. Because their chairperson has defended these generals. Ian Cameron has defended these generals in portfolio. He saved them from attack. He prevented them from telling the truth. They've taken the wrong side then. I'm sure even the DA, and I don't have much regard for their IQs, they can understand which way this thing is going to go. So they just chose to stop. So weet jy wat the NCC sê hulle bekke toemaak, man. You know, yesterday I went to Parliament. I'm on my way out. I did an interview at Parliament. I'm on my way out. Marlon Daniels, the chairperson of the Patriotic Alliance, stops me in the passage. He's talking to two of his colleagues there. And no, actually, he didn't stop me. I stopped them. I said, excuse me, man. Ek wil gaan net hallo sê. Ek wil net hallo sê. Hoe gaan dit met julle? Kashmino Jacobs, hello, Honorable Fadiel. Did you get offered a ministerial post on Sunday? Kashmino, you are not a member of the NCC, and I will not disclose what happens behind closed doors to you. Thank you. So at any rate, so I stopped. I said, hi, hello ladies, hello. We gaan net Marlon se handskud man. Hi Marlon, hoe gaan dit bro? En Marlon sê to my, Here Fadiel. Ek sê wat nou? Hy sê kom gou die kant toe. I'm sure he won't mind me speaking up. Hy sê sy het mos 'n moerse ding opgemaak met Sepsion. And I said to Marlon, this is only the beginning. I asked, do we have your support? He said, we only have each other. I said, perfok. Now, whatever you might think of the Patriotic Alliance, however you might hate Zionism and the stance on Israel, I'm telling you now that what's before us here demands that we must close our eyes to certain things. It demands it. Because if we lose this fight, if the crooks win, we're screwed, all of us. If we lose this fight, South Africa turns into the next Colombia. We'll become the African Colombia. And that is a situation we are not prepared to accept. We're going to win this fight, small as we are. It will be 2 seats up against 398 by the looks of it. But I tell you now, we will not lose. We will not lose. They must come up here before the commission. We will unpack our evidence. We will show them what we have in terms of documentation. And then we will demand that the law must take its course. You know, ons is moeg. Ons is moeg van, ja, you know guys, it's like some opposite, dis toe 'n trolley nou opdraans nou, maar as jy wiele aan die trolley nie, man. It maak jou, but môreoggend we stand up, we get energized, we do it again. Because this is what we do. We are NCC. This means more. I want to say something about that bra that runs law enforcement in the city, but I'm not going to say it. Ek sien sy kwaai sê ons nou klomp dinge. Fadiel lieg, Fadiel dit, Fadiel dat. Hold on to those posts, boys. We got the screenshots. It's not going to age very well. Yeah, that's what I got for you. I'm gonna go off quickly now. I'm gonna sip my tea. I'm gonna be back in 10 minutes. If you want to be back in 10 minutes, it's something I want to talk about. I'm expecting a whole lot of women to attack me for what I'm about to say, because sometimes I say things like I'm just abrupt, and it's one of my many defects, and it's something that I must work on. But there's something that I need to say because it's something that I saw on social media, something Klaas and I put out, and it nogal regtig geraak in my man. So, with your permission, I'll be off. I'll be back. I just got in the house. I haven't eaten today. I'm just gonna sip the tea and just see if I can just bite on something. I'll be back in, call it 10 minutes. Please tune in. It is something that, you know what, I need your guidance, and maybe I need to be chastised for what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. Thank you very much for tuning in. Remember, guys, we will be in court when the mayor goes to court. We will. And the other thing is that the top management of the South African Police Services is rotten and is due for an overhaul. Understand that I'm not here to bat for General Sabia. If General Sabia is caught on nonsense, General Sabia must face whatever's coming his way. And the same thing goes for the minister. And I must tell you, I believe that the minister right now is a massive upgrade on the one before. So I really hope he's innocent of what he's being charged for. But if he isn't, you know what, we'll just find another one. Guys, enjoy the day. Enjoy your evening. Be safe. I'll be back in 10. Take it easy.
Sure, I would do ownership.